Captain's log start date 0218202014.3. Starship Excelsior's login CC77246. So the Federation starships are all compiling together to get ready to go to Delta Quadrant. Since I'm looking into some alternatives right now, I do want to say I'm way up about 3 hours earlier because the sun's out and the sun's never out. And because of the way we live on the starship, is usually, started between we get, you know, natural light from the starship, but not the windows. So basically, what I'm saying is the starship becomes an oven, and so I am overly cooked. So this morning I woke up and I had two problems this morning, which I will share with you. Yes, my panties. I'm getting ready to take a bath. For some of you wondering, I've been kind of itchy this morning, so I've tried to get Chloe to do the cleaning, but Chloe just complains. And it isn't really Chloe's fault, but the other day I was looking over, and the house is pretty clean, for the most part. And yet I looked over and there's these little bugs running across all over Ebony's cage. Chloe's like, oh, well, that's okay. Well, I call them the little attracted poop bugs because, we got to clean the cage. And, that's the thing. So last night I was talking to father-in-law, and I asked him specifically, he asked me about how the incident's going with and by the way, Jose, I just want to let you know I dropped another letter in the mailbox. I found a few excess stamps laying around, so I've been writing you a little bit before bed. So I was listening to classical music last night, Blue Rhapsody, while I was watching, listening to Blue Rhapsody and writing you. So you should get another letter in the mail one day apart. So, anywho, he made a joke about my little shirt that looks like stripes, which means like gray stripes, prison stripes. And frankly, I understand the joke. I literally understand the joke. I actually had to sit there and look at it for a moment, thinking, my number isn't 5582. My phone number, wait. He was talking about prison color as a joke, so there you go. But that was I get your joke. So, anyways, so I got a couple announcements before I climb in the tub this morning. Besides the long haul, so I did some research on online games. Okay, so Black Desert Online is $10 to $50. No problem. The Elder Scrolls is very surprised. So I talked to a guy last night. Okay, so Elder Scrolls. Here's the deal, right? Chloe's like, "What about me?" Well, I went and looked up Elder Scrolls last night. Okay, Elder Scrolls. Because I looked up Elder Scrolls, I turned around to find out through Elder Scrolls that they charge you $7.99 a month for PlayStation Plus. Then they turn around and they charge you $15 a month for a subscription through Sony. So, then if you go through Elder Scroll PC, you're paying $15 for the privilege of paying it without the Sony PlayStation. Now, Black Desert Online, it's the same thing. The difference is you buy the digital game and you can play it. They don't give you a physical copy. I haven't emailed the company yet to look into that, but I'm positive it's all digital. It's not a physical copy because people are like, oh, yeah, I know what they are. I never got into gaming. It's because, if you're going to play the game, you might as well play it on a disc instead of plugging up your hard drive for all these games, which might have patches and so forth. So, but I thought I'd share that with you all. I'll get to my Poppy conversation in a second. I think it was more interesting than talking about that. But we talked about online gaming, and he's like, as long as you have the hard drive space, the thing is, you got to look at the hard drive space. Well, that's the thing. He's completely right. I mean, I don't want 100 gigs of nothing but patches because these game companies can't patch it properly. I mean, they make these monstrosity patches, and then look what happens, So, but anyways, I'll talk to you guys about Poppy for a minute. Excuse me, I wasn't ladylike. Didn't mean to toot. So, a couple of things going on is, and I'm not even paying attention right now. The sun's out, and I'm kind of I think, if people will turn around and say, oh well, you're complaining about this, I have people ask me, are you going to complain about the whole issue with the family or whatever? What family? I don't have family problems. Now, when it comes to whatever, you guys want to share. I basically stated my opinion, and that's it. Between advocates and everything else, it's just an opinion. That's it. You don't see me sitting here going, oh, yes, blah, 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 blah. You see me talking negative about family. No, I don't care. The point is, it doesn't do any good. Chloe, on the other hand, I have a reason for it. Now, my advocates told me it's freedom of speech, and also it makes point that BPD people are flat out right lazy. Plain and simple. That's all I'm going to say this morning. The reason I say it is, unless they're willing to clean the walls with dirt and stuff, Chloe's always leaving dirty stuff and everything else, and I've dealt with a lot of deep cleaning, and I've given her lists, and Poppy's like talking to me about things. Poppy said the same thing that Dinky said, that I am the only one that's concerned with Chloe, but actually, frankly, I don't. Because if I was concerned with Chloe, then Chloe would listen more. Instead, she gets mad at every little freaking thing. You tell her no, she gets mad. You tell her next month, she gets mad. You tell her next year, she gets mad. You tell her wait till you get income, she gets mad. Fortunately, my money is not her money. So, but we're not talking about that. So I talked to Poppy last night. We're talking about issues. And go, Dad. Out of love. We talked about Jose. He's right. He's like, I know you love Jose dearly. And we conversed about things. I said it was really nice of him, to give me Valentine's cards, and we were conversing, and I told him I was kind of a little strong on Jose, out of love, because I was talking to Poppy, and he's like, well, you are outspoken at times, but, you have a right to, but, Poppy, I wasn't, I told him how much I enjoyed the card, and the cards, I looked at it this morning, and he's like, as long as it makes you happy, I support you, and it was really good feeling last night I talked to him, and I told him, I didn't even expect the cards, and my Poppy, he's like, well, why is that? I said, well, I sent a Christmas card, and lo and behold, I didn't get a Christmas card. I sent I think it was 2 Christmas cards or something, and maybe 3, and we never got but a Valentine's card. So Poppy's like, yeah, he was like, that is odd. I mean, at least, he was like, at least you should have got a Christmas card. I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't get any Christmas cards, not even one this year. I figured, so how Poppy is. He's just like, well, he basically put it in easy terms to understand. He's like, well, you're not entitled to a Christmas card. Well, I used to send Christmas cards to my cousin every year in Oregon. Every year, and I'll get better next year. Yeah, right. Literally, you'll get better next year. My father-in-law was talking about narcissistic last night, and he's like, yeah, well, Dinky thinks Chloe's narcissistic. Poppy thinks she's narcissist. Sorry, I meant to say The slip of the tongue. I've heard nothing but negative toward. I know, my cousin's watching this, highly unlikely, but she's watching it. Sorry, it was a slip of the tongue. Me and Poppy were talking about he last night, and as a joking thing for Tara, Chloe's always talking about how Tara is Terrence, so weird name Terrence, or Leroy. And me and Poppy made a joke about it, but honestly, we were just joking around because it was, like I said, it was a slip of the tongue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I would never call you he, anyways. You know how it is. It was just, on that aspect, it was just a slip of the tongue. Me and Poppy are talking, and anyways, so Poppy and I were conversing, with Jose about Jose, and he's like, well, he made it easy to understand. He's like, well, you have a gold heart, so if you sing stuff, I know you wanted at least a Christmas card. Well, yeah, I mean, a little Christmas card that says thinking of you would have been cool, and yeah, and he's like, well, people that sing Christmas cards, they expect cards back, and, I'm old fashioned, maybe that's what it is, I love Jose dearly, and in my letter, I just said, look, relationships two-way, and I was talking to Poppy about that. He said, yeah, you and Aaron were perfect. You two are perfect. And, I would like to settle down, with, as I said, if all goes well, Jose, he's just got to make the next move. And yet, with my Facebook thingy deleted, he's got he's got YouTube. I've sent him Twitter. He's got my email address. He's got all my contact info via my letters. So what happened? Out of love, he's got all the info. It's his move. Yeah, when I was telling Poppy last night, out of love, because I can find Poppy, Poppy, Poppy said, look, it would have been nice, I did send Poppy a Christmas card, so I do know I got one from him because he was reminding me, or our good group Christmas card. Well, me and him were joking about my cousin Dinky, how she every year she uses, I'll be a better person next year for getting him out early. I always send him out the first of the month. Between February, I used to send out one set in November and a second set in December and make sure I got everyone. People would mail me saying they got double of cards. I'm like, well, good for you. So basically, we talked about politics, and we talked about the future, and I want to stay out of politics. I want to stay out of religion. Last night, last night after my game, after I started the game, we finally completed a few areas. And Chloe, this is the problem with Chloe. Every time you want to get a mastery point or spin mastery points in my Guild Wars game, you have to accumulate so many. Like so far, I got a whole bunch from Tyria and the Maguma Jungle, or they call it the Heart of Thorn quest, because we completed Heart of Thorn. Problem in the Maguma Jungle is when I start that one, I got plenty of points to go towards it. I just got to do some level grinding. The problem is, as I was talking to Jose about this in my letter this morning, because I figured Jose might be interested in just seeing how excited I am. My goal is to get through the first 4 regions of the desert of the Crystal Oasis in that area, Heart of Fire. When that's done, switch over to, a Path of Fire. Sorry, I could switch over to another area, right? Which is the Maguma Jungle or Path of Heart of Thorns. To do Heart of Thorns is simple. The Path of Fire missions are go after the Mad God, Balthazar, like War God, and the other one's a dragon, which we did. We slayed the dragon, which means so far we've lopped off 3 dragons and a Mad King. So, as long as the expansions, So what happened is these areas, okay, because I know people sit there, people message me or email, and they're like, what's this game like? Tell me more about it. I'd like to know more about this game. Is it worth it? Well, it is and it isn't. The point is it is for me, and the reason for it is like I said, the game is amazing. I mean, literally, Chloe and I could sit there and play it for hours upon hours. You know, the problem is when you get into an area like a desolation. Okay, that's what they call uh, Area 2. Okay, Area 2 is desolation. Now, people could sit there and say, so what's so special about desolation, besides it being miserable? Well, there's sulfur, there's volcanoes, there's other issues, right? So the point is you go in, right? And by the way, just so you know, I don't support Guild Wars 2. I don't get kickbacks, but if you ever buy the expansions and want to unlock your free game, because they give you the vanilla game, which will take you approximately 10 to 12 hours a day. You can have it beat in a year. About that, the map's just huge. I mean, the map is just, you're looking at regions, and there's like 20 regions of like 4 areas per region. So, once you map out 4 or 5 per region, so, and then once you pay for the expansions, you get more content, So with me, I went ahead because it was, and I want to explain this to some people before you guys sit there and say, oh, well, I'd like to know what you're talking about. Chloe's games are right there. She's got to get into those. But, okay, so you guys are talking, okay? So basically what happened was this whole incident basically, happened, and fingers pointing and, etc. We won't go into details. It's water under the bridge. I know. I think I know who did it, but anyways, I'm not gonna point fingers either because I learned about this, and the whole thing happened that sparked the controversy because my Facebook was deleted. The reason my Facebook was deleted was, as you all know, was because I got angry at the fact. Again, I will reiterate this: the fact that I got angry with the message I got was basically a fuck you letter, basically, about looking after a family's home when they're out and about, and it kind of hurt me. And so, I deleted within 2 minutes, and then I'm being accused of something else that day. And it's like, look, you sent me a fuck you letter, so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to basically bite my tongue and keep Facebook running. That was the stupidest mistake ever. I've made many mistakes, but that takes the taco. And yeah, Poppy said we're only human, but someone wants to point fingers. Oh well. I mean, literally, I'm tired of basically being blamed for stuff that I didn't do. I got blamed as a child from family, so me, why not just basically let it be on water under the bridge? So I went ahead and bought this game because it hurt me. It hurt me literally mentally because people sit there, and they're just like this, doing the whole grandma pointing, and you're basically almost wrapped up in. Jose knows this, and others know it. My advocates know. You're basically thinking, you're being blamed for something you didn't do. Maybe it would be best to just end it all. Instead, you basically say no. So what do? You go down and you invest in the game. You're like, oh well, I made a promise to Chloe, might as well keep it. Won't wait for her miserable Social Security case to come of course an action. So what happens? You get Social Security case, and then what happens? You basically start playing it, going, oh yeah, this is gonna be useless. And you start getting into it, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. Then you go to the gem store, and they're like, oh, I'm an archer. I haven't seen any of these cool bows. I'll take one of these skins. Well, the skins are expensive. Now, I basically made a rant about the skins before, so I will keep it short. I didn't write this in my letter to Jose. But if you're going to be paying real money for weapon skins, when they should actually do some real damage instead of just buying a skin to customize it. Now, I know they sell the skins so they can make money off of your character, so they can keep their company busy. A lot of people buy things. I mean, I found the outfits I was looking for. Usually I haven't found any outfits. Usually I didn't find any. I saw one guy looked at me and he says, you look really good last night. And I said, dude, your armor looks badass. He's like, well, it took me a long while to assemble it. I said, well, I really wanted this one for this lady, you know. And he's like, hey. And then he's like, here's a legendary longbow next to it. That basically parts it perfectly. Tells you, look, I'm a full-time account player. I'm only a level 48 out of 300 something, but I'm getting there. And he says it shows also, you know. I said, what's really bad is, and you know, what Chloe's sitting there basically doing this thing last night is, I told Chloe last night, you know, we got into the raids, right? I told Chloe, if you keep, you know what Chloe needs to do? Chloe needs to go in, right? What Chloe needs to do, right, is do some scouting ahead, right? Chloe needs to go into the bounty board and go in and mark down which ones do the orbs, okay? I got to tell you, the orbs are pissing me off, all right? So we went into this area last night, right? Kill a champion Choya. 3 of us took down a champion Choya. It didn't take too long. His Goonies weren't that bad, right? No problem. Champion Ooze, no problem. The other enemies, they throw these orbs out, all right? Once you get to right near the battlefield where it begins the circle where you got to knock them down in 10 minutes, right? It sends an orb out, draining your health down to nothing. You'll be sitting there. You could be halfway to town and it'll kill you because the orb's still following you. It's like this guy has some magical, you know, whatever. And Chloe's like, oh, I need to look into it. You know, that's the thing. The magical, the legendary champion magical orb guys is something I've been meaning to look up. So while we're doing my channel today, let's look it up. Magical orbs champions and all right, so after fire the bounties. So basically, okay, so the bounty boards. Okay, so it's saying here, all right, this is a question. Bounties are creatures and people turn 3 options each bounty. On bounty have 2 unstable magic abilities on them chosen at random. The result of various combinations and ability each time they fall. Legendary rank bounties have additional abilities that the champions will not have. All right, so basically, you know, that's the thing. How do you counter it? See, hold on, I want to counter it. I don't care about this. I want to know about the spawn. See, that's the thing. This is like possible spawn. Let's see. So basically, this says here. Let's see, the Frightener. Let's see, offensive effect. Under the random list below, first list ability makes bounty either gain additional health or make it hard for putting inflict. The second list is offensive abilities designed to damage players unless they react to the ability. So basically, let's see, generates curative cloud to repair damage, periodic blocks, next plant, fifth exploiter. Legendary bounty targets additional third unstable magic. So it would be offensive. Let's see. Offensive is find lay energy orbs to discharge damaging buildup. Spinning laser creates spinning lasers that damage sniper targets. Fires a powerful scorcher. All right, hold on one second. For a second, give me a second. Chloe, would you come in here? So, anyways, as you can see, I have to look this up, and Chloe needs to hear this from me before I go and do a bath. So, hopefully, she doesn't sit there for 20 hours making me late. Because frankly, it's just, you know. So basically, Chloe's always thinking, I'm a real woman. Look at me. I'm going to take 50 years. I mean, literally, she's the slowest person in the world. I mean, she's worse than a fart, in my opinion.
What is it?
This is for you. Here's your answer. You see the second one? Lay energy buildup. 5 lane energy orbs to discharge damaging buildup. It's on video. Basically, these are the unstable magical abilities right here. You see? And the legendaries gives you a third ability. So basically, these are random. Yeah, these can mitigate certain counter effects, resist or prevents additional lay energy buildup. You're identified the weak point. Capture, flash, freeze, frightening, hammer, and petrifier. Then the first one's defensive, which is avoid attacks, plants, generate security.
So you grab those orbs and you go towards the enemy.
Lay energy buildup. 5 lay energy orbs to discharge damaging buildup. I assume that's what they are.
That's what I've been doing. No one else is doing it.
Well, then you need to teach me because, frankly, otherwise I get those orbs drain me. Drain me.
Okay, maybe when you're done with your video,
I'm taking a bath. Yeah. Remember, I got the itchy syndrome. All right, so now that that's done, everyone, sorry for the delay. I was looking up that, so let's go back to my discussion, Poppy, real quick. So
check this out. This has got extra raisins in it.
Yes, you put extra raisins in it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the smell over here is just amazing. Woo, doggy. Smells like a rib or two that came out of my bunghole. All right, so the sun's out. I'm tired. The heat. So basically, Poppy and I were talking about, cards, and I said it was really nice, of Jose, and I really enjoyed it. And Poppy's like, look, you got a guy, he's a keeper, as long as both of you make it work, you're fine. He's like, just remember, which I didn't complain at all. He's like, it takes 2 to tango. Well, it's true. Thing is if one person's tangoing and no one else is doing anything, then he said there's a problem. But he says give it some time, which is true, So basically, that's something I wanted to share because I wrote in my letter, it takes 2 to tango. I talked about a little bit about my gaming, and how, my gaming's going to take several more hours to days, I assume, because Chloe sits there, right? Chloe's like, oh, yeah, you're going to love the next area, the Maguma Jungle. Yeah, as long as you can guide me and I don't fall in a pit like I did that one day with a tail-moving worm dragon thing that killed me in the middle of a river hole. I mean, literally, you could be landing out in the middle of nowhere. But anyways, back to my story. So, the level up to get the thingies, you got to accumulate master points. These are master points that's applied to masteries. So, for example, I'm working on a mastery right now, 4, which is mastering the jackal. And that means sifting sand, so I can go sift through sands. So when I'm done, I could sit there with my jackal mount completely done. And because I've completed the Springer mount and I've completed the Raptor mount, then I complete I believe I completed or almost completed my my other mount, and then there's the roller beetle mount, which I don't have yet because that's in a different area. So talking about my gaming, for example, Chloe's like, oh, well, it's going to be great. Yeah, if you basically turn around and what you do is you go ahead and you then you go and you complete the areas, like for example, it might take me another 8 to 12 hours to complete Desolation because Chloe doesn't know where she's going. She's like, oh, yeah, we're going to go here. We're going to. Thing is, I master. See, here's the problem. I pay the money for my game, okay? Chloe's like, oh, you get the game, I'll help you out. So I go out, I use some of jam cards and credits and stuff because she's bitching about how she wants a new skin. So I go ahead and do it. Thing is we're supposed to be mapping out my map. Chloe's like, oh, well, we'll go here. Certain times she'd fucking run away. She'd just like zip away from the enemy, and I'm basically in a firefight with 50 enemies. I mowed out 49, fifth one kills, and Chloe's like, oh, why were you ran off? You should have. It's like, look, if you basically backed me up, we wouldn't be in this position where I'm basically killed every time because you're getting stuck in a wall or stuck over here, stuck over there. So can't you freaking learn your lesson? She's like, oh, well, so talking to Poppy last night, when Poppy was, me and Poppy were talking about narcissism, how, he made a joke about Dinky being narcissistic, but she isn't. I think it was a joke, but anyways, we were talking about it. He's like, you're sure that's why Chloe is narcissistic. Well, I mean, she runs off, right? And then she yells at me and I'm getting my ass killed. Well, so anyways, to me, I'm like, yeah. And so what happened was, the once I get the area done, I got the jungle, which will take me several days. Could be taking me 4 to 10 days. Could take me 12 days. But as soon as the jungle's done, I can turn around and go to Living World Season 2, 3, and 4, which are paid for, which is extra content. And then I can turn around and pay for I should say, the Icebrood Saga. So I have the entire Icebrood Saga. So right now, my game's probably cost me $80 for all the downloaded content because they, And so what happened is by the end of March, early April, I should have another game to try out, like Black Desert Online. The problem is I hear it's pay to win, so you can't win without paying. I mean, I'm one of these, and I'll basically grind for 500,000 hours before I give in to paying, Because the problem with paying is, as you all know, my gripe is you get the skin, the weapon skins, they look cool. And all of a sudden, you think you got something great. And it's just aesthetic. It's not like that sword that you get the takedown Balthazar, where you're basically cutting all of his enemies down like butter, I mean, instead they make it more and more difficult, And so to me, I don't know. So anyways, so I've been doing some research. Okay, back to the game, online gaming for a minute. So I contacted Square Enix. I said, look, I'm interested in buying the PC and or the PS4 edition of the Final Fantasy 14. Just, threw it out there on the table. I want to know if I could use crossplay or one subscription. And they said, well, if you're using one for PC and one for that and you're logged in at the same time, it can be done. They said, well, just contact us. You can have one subscription for multiple platforms. You can be on Xbox, you can be on PC or PS4. So I turned around and I said, thank you. And they're like, we're not like Elder Scrolls Online that makes you have a separate plan per system. Like, for example, you want to play it through Steam, you pay the Steam price, on top of X amount, And if you want to play it on PS4, you got to pay PlayStation directly to play it, and then they cut the check out to ESO Plus. But if you want to play ESO Plus on your PC, you can play it, but you got to pay X amount of dollars. So Elder Scrolls is like, because it's 3 different platforms, they're being charged 3 different fees. So whereas Final Fantasy, they're just like, look, you get you get PlayStation Plus, you can pay one subscription. So people are loving that, because I inquired about it through different channels and YouTube and Amazon, and same thing, the same answer that Square Enix said. So to me, I'm like, no, that would be perfect because just to play it, but ESO is like, oh, just to play it, you might need a PlayStation Pro or a top of the line, not top of the line PC. My PC can handle most an ultra. I've looked over everything. I know exactly what I'm doing. So, Elder Scrolls. So to me, I'm like, okay, I'll play Elder Scrolls, but Black Diamond, Black Desert Online. I can play that too. The problem is, again, it's pay to win. So I got to do more research. So, there's 3 different types. WoW slowly failing because the expansion sucked. And new people, they're always getting themselves killed, apparently. I got to do some research on that, off and on. But, I'm doing research, I think I might end up with ESO or Final Fantasy 15 next. No, the Desert, you can buy the game outright and you can play it as much as you want. But the reason they keep it so low in price is because pay to win. Now, I don't mind Guild Wars because there's so much content in the game. For example, like for example, when I get done with the Maguma Jungle, I go to Act 2. I go to Living World Seasons 2, 3, and 4, right? I complete those story quests. And then apparently they're a little easier than Balthazar was. Balthazar, I'm a long-range player. Chloe knows that, so I'd use her character. I'm putting together a staff right now, but I need to get the runes for it, so I'm accumulating money for the runes. Runes on the Black Lion Market. That's the only place to get runes. Most stores don't sell runes. You can go to basic vendors that can sell it. You can unlock your skins and stuff, but with me, I always carry. I tried the short bow out. I'm telling you, the short bow sucks. I mean, you got to be really up close. I'm like long range fighter, so I'm like always using my archery skills. So I have like 2 or 3 different bows. I have daggers on me. I haven't tried dagger abilities yet, dual-handed daggers. I'd like to see how that plays out. Because, apparently with Soul Beast, you're allowed daggers, and I'm not really a druid. You're allowed a dagger and a staff, and a Soul Beast, you're allowed daggers. So maybe I can dual daggers, because I got a new Soul Beast dagger that looks really badass. It's like a Japanese size, so that's basically a dagger. So, well, anyway, so what happened was, like I said, once I get through Living World Seasons 2, 3, and 4, master those maps, because I finish the storyline, then I go and clear up the map so I can get all the goods. Then what happens is then I will move on to the next storyline, which could take 20 hours or 30 hours for the story, depending on how much acquiring of the map completion I do and get all my mastery points. So as long as I get all the mastery points, I can keep putting it into and stuff. And then in the end, the other problem is the experience. Now, I was in an area last night where I was racking experience up hand over fist, killing what they called the Forge. And they're like armor-toughened battlemen from Balthazar, the god of war. And when we toppled him, people are still like, help us, Balthazar. It's like, dude, we sent him to the abyss, man. But I was like using a special gun that basically is like an acid corrosive gun. I was running around trying to get an achievement to unlock a mastery. So my experience bar at the bottom was going up. See, the more experience you gain, the more you got to use your masteries. And so Chloe's like, the thing is that it gets harder and harder. So, just to get through the desert, I need to master the Jackal. So Chloe's like, well, how far are you in the Jackal mastery? Well, I need 1 more point to put in and 1 or 2 more points to put in. So I can actually master sifting through the sands using sand portals. So I can go into the other areas and get it done. And then once that's done, then it's all good, you know. So to me, you know, then I feel, you know, and last night I felt accomplished. So next month the goal is, you know, and I was talking to Poppy about this too, is Poppy and I had some discussions about Wenatchee because I used to live near there. And, you know Jose, I love him dearly, the love of my life. You know, he can't ever replace Aaron. He said that. But he would basically say the same thing Poppy said logically, like a Vulcan, was, why are you going to Wenatchee to get medication? Well, it's the only place right now. We don't have any, unless I can find a primary care physician that will take me, which my advocate was supposed to set me up. But my advocate's out till the second week of freaking March. She's like, oh, I'm going to Ireland and I'm going here and I'm doing this and doing this. And I'm fine. And my other advocate's going, basically turned around and said, look, sweetheart, you're a sister to me. We're all stumped here with Chloe. Chloe, you know. Now, I don't know why I'm itchy all of a sudden. I don't know why, but, you know. So today's plan for some of you is I got to go take a bath. That's one of the things I want to do. I haven't washed my hair in like 10 days, so probably all the grease and oils and dirt's going to come out. You're going to see dirt water when I get done, but you know, my main thing is a lot of people say, well, why don't you take a bath? You know, I know my cousin Dinky always made fun of me about smelling, and you know, from here, you know, and message be like, yeah, I need a bath. She's like, oh, I can smell you. Well, you know, it's true. The reason I don't take a bath that often is because I don't get a chance. Like the other day, I was telling Poppy a story about Chloe was trying to be a sweetheart that day, and she's like, "Oh, I'll make you some coffee." She made me coffee, you know, trying to get me out of bed because the sun came out, and I just didn't want to get up. Well, it was too early, and then all of a sudden she turns around, out of love, and she's like, "You need to wash your face up." So I have to wash my face up. The sink was used for 20 minutes, and then Chloe's sitting in the mirror looking at herself, going, "Oh, look at my ass, look at my ass," and I finally. I waited patiently, you know, and I told Poppy last night, I said, I don't know where the patient comes from, just waiting patiently. He said, God, you know, and I think that's what he said. And, you know, to me, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, literally, I just told him, where do I get the patience to wait patiently, you know? And, you know, I mean, until last night, me and Poppy were talking about, you know, narcissism, you know, and he brought it up because I said to him, I was looking at getting Black Desert Online, and he goes, so you should get it, you know, you should keep your mind occupied. You know, I do these projects. I said, oh, I got YouTube bits to watch too. And he said, cool. I said, but the problem is I hear the what about me card all the time when it comes to online gaming. And, you know, Poppy turned around and he made the most logical thing. You know, as you know, everyone knows I care for everyone. I love Jose dearly. I love Dinky dearly. I love Corey and everyone else. So what happened? He turned around and he made a logical thing, and he said, look, you know, I may not like your cousin-in-law, but your cousin-in-law is completely right. The world doesn't owe people a living. The world doesn't owe people food stamps or Medicare or Medicaid or, you know, whatever, you know. So, you know, when, you know, because I always talk to him about Dinky, you know, oh yeah, she posted this on Facebook or, you know, my taxes or whatever, you know, and he's like, you know, everyone, you know, you're not entitled to anything, you know, and you know, when he said that, he's like, look, he says, I know, I can sense you love Jose dearly. And, you know, Jose, I in my letter, I did thank him for all the help in the past. You know, he's a sweetheart, and I don't expect help. You know, I was just happy I got the cards. You know, and like I said in one of my videos, Chloe was complaining. It's like, look, my heart is gold. Okay, if I give, it's fine. If I don't receive, it's fine. The problem is Chloe's like, you know, the thing is, you know, to me is, you know. I figure the only thing that I feel I'm entitled to is a clean house. And since I'm paying everything, you know, I mean, it was like I was talking to Poppy last night, you know, and, you know, talking about gaming, you know, and some online games. I see how Chloe basically thinks, so, well, what about me? And it's like, look, do you want me to pay another $30 a month for subscription so you can play too. Oh yeah, I want that. And it's like, but she's being negative on Social Security. So, yesterday me and Poppy were talking about how I got yelled at for talking to the Social Security lady. Well, here's the deal with the Social Security lady. I know Poppy's logical, Jose's logical, even Dinky and Corey would be logical, and anyone else, even Teddy. We'd all come to the same conclusion is the lady's looking to give you money. So she needs to know how bad you are. If you can't cook, you can't clean, you can't fucking fart, and and Chloe's like, oh, they're gonna put me in a group home. They can't put you in a group home. Group homes are full. They can't put you in a nursing home because nursing homes are full. They can't put you in assisted living, and they, unless they really, And Poppy made the joke that I should be getting paid to take care of Chloe. But thing is I'm already, So, that's how it is. So, I'm doing research on World of Warcraft. I'm doing research on Final Fantasy 14 and 15. 15 I can buy and play it at home offline. 14's online only. So I inquired to Square Enix, and they're like, yeah, and then Amazon, and I looked up other places, but other places like ESO, they're just like, yeah, they're basically, it's like if you want to play it on a different system, you got to pay more. It's like, you can log into ESO on PC and pay $15, as long as you have a controller. But if you want to play on console, you got to pay more. So, to me, it was just, a problem, So he's just like, but I told him I'm looking into other entertainment venues to keep my mind busy, besides spreadsheets. And I got 3 to do today. Those 3 spreadsheets shouldn't take too long once I get done with the bath, because I want to get that done. I'm hoping the sun dies down so I can actually, if I take a nap later, I can take a nap without any problems, because I was looking at the weather today and I was just like, great. So for the next 5 days, we're going to have sun. And, I told Chloe, Chloe just looked at me and she said, oh, well, spring's around the corner. Well, it might be around the corner, but couldn't we get like 3 months of rain for the spring season? Rain wouldn't be too bad. It's cloudy and, I can sleep during the day. Instead, I'm up early because the sun's hitting that. And Chloe's like, well, between the heat and the itchiness, it woke me up, And then last night I was sitting there and I looked at Chloe and I said, hey, did you see that? She said, what? There's little bugs going into Ebony's cage, like little fruit fly type things. What they are is bugs that are attracted to Ebony because of his poo, So little poo boy is bringing in these little bugs. And because of it kind of saddens me, plus the fact that he keeps eating like a pig. This guy eats like a freaking pig. Here. Put you on video for a couple minutes. Yeah. So this little guy eats like a pig, basically. This little guy eats like a pig. Hi. So this little guy eats like a pig here, and he's the cuddler. He eats like a pig, and then eats more than he should. And I put in fresh hay and fresh pellets, and this little guy is still eating like a pig. It's like he doesn't get enough food or something. But you know what? It's great because, I do love him. And everyone makes jokes that he's food. He ain't food. You don't eat a bunny. He's a pet. He's my pet. He brings me joy. And that's one thing I truly enjoy is this little bunny. I mean, look how he is. He's liking his head scratched, And I love how he does that little nose thing. You see how he moves his nose? Isn't it cute? Hi. So basically, he's a good little bunny, and he's not. It's not his fault. He's bringing in these little bugs. But they're like little poo flies, is what I call them. He doesn't like being out of his box much or his cage much because he feels safe in the cage, don't you? Don't you feel like you're safe in it? Yeah, we watch little videos from time to time. We subscribe to something called Lemming the Bunny. And the lady calls everyone lemmings. Hello, little lemmings. You know, I got a little lemming too. This is a little Ebony here. Ebony bunny. It's okay. Oh, look at him. He's giving me kisses. Yeah, he's giving me a kiss. When a bunny kisses, that's the highest affection they'll give you. Hey, what's up, little bonbon? So, basically, I've been doing some research on online gaming. Boop. It's okay. See? You just got to hold him in a way that he doesn't fall off. I've had him almost been snacked on by a moppy, so, you know, I'm very protective with the bun. Hello. Oh, yeah, you're so furry. He's so adorable, isn't he? He's my bun. He's the baby. So, just don't chew on anything, Ed. So basically, you know, talking about these games, you know, as long as I do the long term, I should be fine, you know. And okay, put you in your little boxy thing. I know that's what you want. There you go. So basically, you know, that's the plan. So Chloe's gonna do cleaning today. I'm gonna take a bath, and then after my bath, Chloe's gonna do cleaning. I'm gonna do spreadsheets, and then I'm gonna and hopefully I can get rid of the itchiness, you know, and you know, etc., and be a lot happier. Tonight's dinner is gonna be chicken sandwiches. That's gonna be really tasty. You know, and I got my clipboard. I found my clipboard. Found my list here. I'll go through the games again. Put a check mark on them as I watch them. You know, and then I'll go from there. You know, and you know, this helps me make my decisions on game purchases. But you know, my thing is you know, so I will figure it all out. You know, and I don't mind. You know, because it is fun. You know, and you can always find something on YouTube. I was watching a story last night before bed of a guy. I can't remember his channel name. But I subscribed. Basically, he talks about buildings that are abandoned and stuff that's abandoned, and he does a story thing like bankruptcy, and you know, and you know, one of the things I was watching was stories about Pan Am and TWA. You know how they went down the toilet. Two reasons was the fuel crisis weakened them severely. The '73 fuel crisis, and then the other problem was, you know, crashing. Like one went into the ocean, the other one went over Lockerbie, Scotland, and so that didn't help them either. So you know, eventually they ended up, you know, merging with other companies like Delta and American, and you know, U.S. Airways even went out of business and was merged. You know, then you have Southwest, and you have, you know, NWA, Northwest Airlines went out of business. You know, I remember me and Eric used to fly NWA until they fused. I think they fused with United, I think. So, you know, so all these airlines are merging so they can have less airlines, you know. So now it's like Alaskan, Continental, I don't even think's even in business anymore. Maybe they are. You know, U.S. Airways is gone. There's American, you know. And you know the main airlines, you know, and they have other international airlines, that, you know, but at least the airlines are stabilized, you know. But I mean, I can't even remember what happened to Continental Airlines, you know. I mean, are they even still in business? Let's see, major airline in Houston. Ceased operations in 2012. So you know, so they went out of business. Never mind, merged the United Airlines on merged. So you know, So United owns it. So United Airlines owns, you know, United Airlines is United, Delta, Alaskan, you know. United is a major airline in Willis Towers, world's largest airline alliance with 28 airlines, and United owns Continental. So there you go. So, you know, and they also had U.S. Airways, which we don't even know what happened to U.S. Airways, but again, it's an interesting thing, because growing up there was a lot of different airlines to choose from, and now, ceased operation. Let's see, Philadelphia International Hub. Let's see, sort of. So U.S. Airways merged with United again. So you can see United has got United Airways. You know, U.S. Airways Shuttle, U.S. Air, ceased operation, merged with American. So there you go. So they're with American now. So American Airlines owns, there's American Airlines, there's Delta, there's United, so, you know, American Airlines is a major American hub. Fort Worth, Texas. Dallas is it is the world's largest airline by measured by fleet size and revenue. So there you go. So there, see, I learned something new about airlines today. So, anyways, so basically, like I said, nothing much else to report. Got to use the toilet soon. So as soon as I get done with my captain's log, like I said. So Poppy and I were talking again about Jose, and I said it was really nice on the cards. I just wish I had a Christmas card, And the other old-fashioned thing was, when I talked in my letter, I told Poppy I was writing one, and he told me to remind Jose out of love that takes two to tango, and my mom said the same thing all the time, that if a person's writing a lot, I know he works a lot of hours, being a prison guard, but still, out of love, it would be great to get a letter from him, or an email from him, or a phone call from him, or a note on Twitter's Messenger or something, besides YouTube, because it's sad that takes two to tango, and yet, at the same time, I'm old fashioned, so you know how it is. So to me, it's sad that it feels like, as I said, it's one way, but I know he's working, and I'm busy too. I mean, literally, people say, "Oh, well, you're busy." Yeah, I'm trying to keep my mind occupied over, this ordeal, what happened. So I'm playing games again, and as soon as I master Guild Wars for a while, I will, choose a different game to take a break, but right now I'm trying to be a better person. I remember, enjoying the game, and like I said, once I complete all the extra content, I'll go back into Tyria, the main hub, where, like I said, the world map is huge. It took 3 years to complete it all. And I will go from region to region getting mastery points, and I will acquire mastery points. And then, I will start working my, my mastery points and start leveling up, and getting my mastery mastered. So I could do, it's not easy. There's people with 317, the maximum mastery points, and I'm like 48. So it's not bad, and I'm working at Soul Beast too, but everything takes time. So, to me, I'm just doing, I'm excited to proceed, but I also know that next month, I was thinking about getting my commander tag so I can lead squads, into battle, and et cetera, et cetera, So that's something I'm looking forward to as well. And then the other thing I'm looking forward to is, Black Desert Online. The thing is, Chloe's like, what am I eat? It's like, well, I might spend $10 for each of us and get it, but I don't really owe anything. It's like Poppy said, the world doesn't. You're not entitled, to these things, and so, when Poppy and I were talking about entitlements, I was like, yeah, I mean, like how Poppy said, if you're really truly into someone, you're not entitled to a relationship, but you are, it takes two to tango. So, that's where he was like, you're not entitled to gifts, you're not entitled to money, you're not entitled to this, which is true. Thing is, just, to me, I told him I feel entitled to at least be contacted, via email, via snail mail, via whatever to uh, get things moving along. So that's how I feel. I feel like I'm entitled to at least that. So with that said, everyone, I had a nice chat with him about that. I had a nice chat with uh everyone else, and I'm looking forward to the future. So um, so that was the discussion we had. We talked about that, and he's just surprised. And he also said it best. That Dinky's right. You might not like Dinky at times, but he said Dinky's completely right that no one wants to deal with Chloe. I mean, literally, if you look at Chloe's threats, and you know, Poppy said it best himself. If you make threats, no one's gonna like you. If you demand entitlements, no one's gonna like you. And he's like, look, you're logically, and everyone around me has said this. If you're basically the only one trying to get Chloe better, but no one else is, then you're not entitled to get her better. But you're also trying to say, look, the lady wants information so she can get you approved for disability. You have been unemployed for 4 years. And so me and Poppy were talking about Wenatchee, and I said, well, we got our refills, but the problem is, next month's going to be hard because, you got to pay train tickets, you got to pay train tickets and hotels. So that's like 1/3 my income gone just for 2 people for 2 days, and not including meals. And Dad's like, well, you can't afford it. You live on an island, so you just got to, I mean, to do the math, you're paying over $300-400 to travel, and it's just too damn expensive. Now, if you planned it carefully, which I do every month, it'd be better. But that's just gonna really hurt me. And so Poppy's like, you need to look into other options. So on that aspect, so there you have it. So but otherwise, that's how it is. So I figured I would share that with you all, that, it hurts, and, I don't have excess money to go around. I do need to get those meds refilled. So he's like, can't you wait a little longer and see about a primary care physician can fill it before you go out there? Because if you get a PCP to do it, primary care physician, then you don't have to travel. So he makes a good point. So I got to look into all those options myself. So, so that's what's going on. And so, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So with that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit that like, subscribe button. It's something funny for the family, including your dogs, your cats, and your bunnies. Jose, if you're watching, I'll write you another letter and mail it out tomorrow. Please look for them. I hope you like the stamps I'm using. I'm using stamps from the River collection. So, so there you have it. Please leave comments. Just keep it nice is all we ask. Thanks for watching. Captain's Log Out, USS Excelsior, NCC 77246. This transmission ends now.